I'm Nick. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to sit down and speak with my baby sister Jasmin about solo travel, travel as female, and just travel in general, tips and tricks. So if you are interested in that, join us. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can see more of this wonderful content. Alright, let's get into it. Why do you travel?
Our mum always pushed us to get out of our little small country town that we grew up in, because she travelled as well, and she always pushed us to do that. And I saw you travelling when I was young, and so I was like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna do that too. But I was very nervous to do it by myself, and I didn't have a lot of friends who could also travel. But yeah, I've always just wanted to see other things and experience anything outside of like our New Zealand, Australian bubble that we live in. And I really love food, so food.
What's your favourite food?
Vietnamese, hands down, and Sri Lankan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love like curries and spicy foods and noodle soups and
nice.
all of that. Samosas.
Samosas. How many countries have you been to?
I think it's around 30. I haven't like sat down and counted, but.
And you did most of them by yourself, right?
Yeah, most of them by myself.
Making friends along the way.
Yeah, I did like a group tour as my first solo travel because I was very nervous and a bit socially awkward.
That was in Europe?
Yeah, Europe.
You're only really young.
I was freshly 19, yeah. Did a 30-day bus tour around Europe with Top Deck Travel, which was super cool. It was a good way to like make friends and still see a lot. And like there were only like a few days in each place, but it was enough to sort of like see if I liked it or not, and then either go back after the tour or go back in the future if I wanted to.
Yeah, those
kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone of having to talk to a lot of people, and it was great. It really did a lot for me.
Yeah, it's a good way to start traveling. I think if you haven't ever traveled and you're really nervous about it, or you don't mind group travel and things being organised for you to start with, I think it's definitely a good thing. There's like Top Deck, Kontiki, all sorts of tours all around the world now, but a group tour with people similar age. And then if you do want to go back to those places later, you kind of know something about the country, you know what you liked and what you didn't like. It's like it's safe and secure, you're with people all the time, and you're not going to gel with everybody, but you're going to meet some people who you do and make new friends, and they're going to be traveling at later dates as well, so you make more traveling friends. It's other people doing what it is you actually want to be doing. So they are pretty good, those tours to start. Yeah,
that one was really good actually, because a lot of us did the whole 30-day tour, because you could like hop on and off on some of them. And after our tour, a group of us went and got festival tickets, and we went straight from our tour to a festival together.
Which
like four of us, Creamfields. In the UK. And then after that, another girl that I've met on the tour, she got me a volunteer job with an Australian company, actually volunteering for accommodation at Oktoberfest. So then we met up there, and I got to volunteer for all of Oktoberfest, like cleaning tents and serving breakfast hungover.
And that meant that you got everything for free?
Yeah, so I didn't have to pay for accommodation, so they gave me my own little tent to sleep in my little room. It was freezing cold. And like they gave me like a sleeping bag and a mattress and stuff like that, and then I also had to serve breakfast every morning. No matter what state you're in, you have to serve breakfast. And I got to eat breakfast. Sometimes they'd give us free beers, and sometimes they'd shut us to dinner or whatever, but I got to free accommodation for Oktoberfest, which is expensive. So,
that's another great way to start traveling too, if you're on like a limited budget, is to find companies at big festivals usually and volunteer for them, so you get a different kind of experience. You stay for a bit longer, and obviously it's a commitment because you're actually working essentially, but it's a cheap way to get around, like especially if say you're going to Europe, there's festivals all through summer, and if you can volunteer and work at them, then it's going to save you so much money, because that's all your accommodation paid for those couple of months, and then you can save your money to travel, and you'll also meet so many people.
I met someone that knew my sister here in New Zealand.
Not me.
Not you.
The other sister.
Met our other sister. Totally random.
When's your next trip?
Actually in like 10 days to Bali with my fiance as a amazing engagement present from my fiance's brother.
Nice.
Like 5 days.
So we live in Perth, and it's only like a 3 and a bit hour flight, so it's good. Bali's a good spot.
Yeah.
What is your top savings tip? So obviously you travel for like a long time, but also you kind of learn how to like save while you're traveling as well, like how to budget and stuff like that. So what would be your top tip for like saving money?
I'd say before you go traveling, make small achievable goals rather than like one big goal. Because if you have small achievable goals, it feels like you're actually achieving something. Whereas if it's a long-term goal, it feels like it's just dragging on and you're not achieving anything. And then while you're traveling, have a reusable water bottle so that you're not spending that money. But like, eat where locals eat, where it's normally not like the touristy places. So you're eating authentic food and it's cheaper. And it's like better because all the locals eat there, so you know it's good. And if you're staying in like a hostel or a hotel that has breakfast, go breakfast, eat the breakfast food. If it's not like totally yuck, but eating breakfast at the hostel or hotel will save you money buying it out. And don't only treat yourself to like nice meals every now and then. Don't do it all the time.
Yeah, eating out is definitely like a big cost. Obviously we're talking about like a bit longer term travel and like travel by yourself. So if you're only on like a short holiday and you've saved up really hard for it, obviously treat yourself. But like if you're traveling for like a longer time or doing like a backpacking trip or a OE or something, like you can actually survive on quite a little bit of money and it's still like good. You're not being that povo really if you go, like you say, eating locally and eating where it's like full of locals. It might be the cheapest place in town, but if there's people in there and it's full, it's because it's good. Like, and it might be different to your local cuisine at home, but that's what you need to get out and try. Like if you want to eat the food that you normally eat when you go to another country, then you're probably going to pay for it because it's not their food, so you're going to pay more. But sometimes eating cheap doesn't mean anything. I don't know. I love a bargain.
Oh yeah.
Love a bargain. So it's like, how's this? I want that whole meal with 6 drinks for $2. Like, what is your favorite place you've ever been to?
Vietnam.
Okay.
And
why?
Vietnam because like you can just get everything there. Like if you want to go for the history, it's got mega history. If you want to go for nature, amazing nature, like Halong Bay or like up in the upper mountains, awesome. Then obviously the food, Vietnamese food is the best. And the locals are so nice. They just like so helpful and they just want to be like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, do you want to come eat some of my food? And I'm like, yes, I want to eat some of your food. But then also I really love Sri Lanka as well as a place. I spent 3 months there and it was amazing. Again, food, yes. I drove a tuk-tuk around Sri Lanka for like 3 weeks and
so cool. Did you buy the tuk-tuk?
No, we rented it.
Oh, okay.
So we had 2, like mine was the girls one and then there was the boys one. And everyone was just like so nice and like, what are you guys doing? And like normally women don't drive tuk-tuks in Sri Lanka, so they were a bit like amazed at me being like, what are you doing? And I was like, just driving around. And again, nature, like you can climb mountains there, or you can go to the beach, or you can like
see good surf,
good surf, depending like with the monsoon seasons. And then there's heaps of history as well because they also had a really long civil war, so you can learn about that.
And they're kind of having another one right now.
Yes, yes, it's not a place to travel at the moment, but
not the best.
No. It was just really. I had a lot of fun there. As well. It was a great place. I really want to go back.
And for the opposite, what is the most overrated place you've been? You know, like people are like, oh my god, that was so amazing, and then you go there and you're like, what?
Honestly, maybe controversial. I'm gonna say America, like the United States.
The whole of the United States.
We were okay. Maybe not the whole. I've not been to the whole place, but
it's kind of like Australia. It's got everything.
I don't know. I never felt comfortable there. I never felt safe. Whereas I've travelled in most places on my own, and I've never felt that kind of unsafe.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Because I feel the same. I don't know if it's because you can understand everyone or what, because you have a level of ignorance when you're in another country and you don't really know everything that's going on, so it can be, a little bit more like, oh well, and
kind of felt it was a bit overrated, although I did like Denver when we went there, but still, I don't know, it was cool to see it, but like I wouldn't be rushing back.
Yeah.
Like there's a few places I'd want to see again, but I wouldn't rush back. Like I wouldn't be too bothered, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, what do you always take with you? Like, is there something that you just always pack on the trip?
I always have a little like first aid kit with like band-aids and like a little sewing kit in case like your bag strap breaks or like your button comes off.
Yeah.
Which
I feel like Mum must have told us that because I did the same until like last year.
Yeah.
And it was in Mexico. And I was like, I've been carrying this around for 2 years in my bag. Well, 12 years every time I go somewhere. But it is handy though, depending like where you go. Like sometimes you're not right by a shop, even though it's pretty accessible in a lot of places. But sometimes like, you know, you're like in the jungle for 3 days or something. And you're like, oh, whoopsie, should have bought a band-aid.
Yeah.
But yeah, little stuff like that. But the sewing kit, definitely good.
It's so handy.
Yeah. Okay, what is your top tip for booking an accommodation?
Read the reviews and read like the lowest reviews, and if there's more low reviews than high reviews.
Yeah, especially recent ones, right? Like bed bugs.
Yeah.
If it's like 2 days ago or like a month ago, be careful.
No. Yeah.
It's hard because like that can ruin a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also you don't want it.
You don't want bed bugs.
Have you had bed bugs?
No, I haven't, but I've met girls that have in the hostel, and they were like they got it on the night bus to the hostel.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to like they threw out heaps of their stuff, and then they took all their stuff to like the laundromat, and they got like all dry cleaned and everything.
Yeah.
Like they even had to wash their bags because it was just in everything.
Yeah.
They had like all these like bites and stuff over them. They were not happy.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. I mean, it's not. It happens, but I mean, there's hundreds of people sleeping in there, so and traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking on the reviews. You're looking for the bad ones, but you want to see like recent ones, or
yeah, you got to read the recent ones and like look for like how clean it is, or see if people like say I don't know.
Or it's like
I
a
need to
party
clean the
hostel
bathroom
and you're
more.
like, I don't want to be there.
Yeah. Party hostels tend to be a little bit more dirty, just to be honest. But if you're okay with that, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely try some party hostels if you're into that.
Yeah.
But even some of the non-party hostels stayed in some pretty rank places, to be honest. $3 a night, alright.
Yeah, definitely. Top tip for solo travel. Like, what if someone's thinking about like starting out or gonna do it, what was your bigger top tip?
I guess like kind of like what I did. If you're nervous about it or you're scared about traveling solo, just go for a group tour.
Yeah.
Like they can also seem daunting. Like I was totally scared.
Yeah, because it's a whole lot of people you don't know.
It's a lot of people, like, and I was by myself, and some of them were in groups. So some of them also single travels.
Yeah.
And like, it's raining. But that was really, really good. Like, they can be a little bit more overpricey than like maybe if you went and tried to do it by yourself.
But for your first trip, if you're not sure about organising and finding things and that.
It was definitely really good, and I think that's what really like got me the push that I needed to really travel on my own after that.
Yeah.
It really helped a lot with like my confidence in traveling and in myself and in like social situations. Yeah, that was really good, I would say.
Yeah.
Like doing a group tour when you're scared of doing a group tour.
Yeah. If somebody's watching that is like about to go traveling, or they're thinking about it, they're just thinking about it, but maybe they're scared or they're unsure or uncomfortable or they've heard it's unsafe, what would be your advice, remembering back to when you first were in that same position before your first trip? What would your advice be?
You'll regret not going. Sure, it's scary and it puts you out of your comfort zone, and maybe it is a dangerous place according to people who've never been there, but like if you don't go, you're gonna be like, oh, I could have gone on a trip but I didn't because someone told me it might be dangerous, or like someone said, oh, you don't know anyone. Like you never know how to do anything until you do it. Like
so just do it.
Do it. Just do it.
Nice. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much for being in here with me, little sister. We're doing the series of these videos. There's already one up. It's with my friend Jackie, who has traveled a lot as well. If you like that kind of content and want to follow any of my travels, which will be on this channel, subscribe, and don't forget to leave a like and share this with anyone that you know who's thinking about traveling, or somebody you think that might be inspired by it. I mean, that would be the greatest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you here in another week. Bye. You can wave.